Get ready to be jolted out of the ordinary and into a world where conversations are charged with intensity and facts. The Lightning Strike Talk Radio with your host, Mohammed Faheem, broadcasting live from the heart of the city on Chicago's Progressive Talk Radio, WCPT 820 AM. Welcome to a radio show that charges through the airwaves with an electricity like no other. Here's your host, Mohammed Faheem.
Good morning, folks. Good morning, and welcome to another edition of the Lightning Strike, the first Sunday in July. And we just celebrated our 250th year anniversary. So I'll be diving into that in a little bit, but I want to welcome back our team, Mike Patino. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning.
Mike is back from his world travels, and we got Chris Hilbert joining us from Euless, Texas. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning.
And good morning, Dr. Sheila White.
Good morning, good morning. Good morning, Chicago.
Okay, and Maria Muzaffar, I believe, is back from her travels, so she should be joining us at 9:30 in the second hour. And of course, in the second hour, at the beginning of the hour, Congresswoman Marie Newman would be joining us with her take on what is happening in our country. And she has got a guest that she's going to be introducing us to. Okay, so 250 years later, are we still the United States of America? That is the question that I have. So as we celebrated our 250th birthday yesterday, 250 years since ordinary people challenged the most powerful empire on earth and declared that liberty belongs not to kings, not to aristocrats, but to the people. Think about that. And I believe about, Sheila, about 53 people signed the Declaration of Independence, not just Benjamin Franklin and a couple of others that we hear about. And this was a handful of farmers, merchants, printers, teachers, tradesmen. And believe it or not, after signing that Declaration of Independence, most of them were chased down by the British soldiers. No one knows that part of history, okay? A lot of them lost their businesses, a lot of them lost their farms, a lot of them lost their lives. I believe about 13 of them lost their lives, okay? But these are people who believed that government exists to serve the people, not the other way around. That was the revolution. Not muskets, not cannon fire, an idea. The radical idea that power belongs to the people. But birthdays are not just celebrations, folks. They are moments of reflection. They force us to ask difficult questions. Where have we been? What are we today? And perhaps the hardest question of all, where are we going? When the Constitution was written, America was deeply flawed. Let's not forget it. Slavery existed. Women could not vote. Native Americans were excluded from the nation's political life. The founders, folks, did not create a perfect democracy, but they created a system that could evolve. They built a framework of self-correction. They assumed future generations would continue expanding freedom, not shrinking it. They trusted that each generation would improve the republic they inherited. So, have we? Look around America today. Millions of citizens no longer trust our institutions. Most Americans believe that the political system answers first to those with wealth, influence, or access. Campaign spending continues to climb. Political action committees, billionaires, and special interests play an increasingly visible role in modern elections. So whether you're a Democrat, a Republican, an independent, a Green Party, or someone who has stopped voting altogether, ask yourself one simple question. Who has your elected officials' ear? The people who elected them or the people who financed them? Recent court decisions, especially the recent Supreme Court decision also, have renewed the debate over the role of money in politics. Supporters argue these rulings could protect free speech. Critics argue they make it easier for wealthy interests to exercise outsized political influence. Regardless of where you stand, folks, Americans deserve a political system where every nation believes their voice matters. Then there is voting itself. Every generation has fought to expand the ballot. Property requirements disappeared. The 15th Amendment, the 19th Amendment, the Voting Rights Act. Each represented another step towards fulfilling America's promise. Yet today, voting remains the subject of fierce political battles. Some states have adopted new election rules they say strengthen election integrity. Look at Florida and other places, right? Others argue these same rules make voting more difficult for certain communities. The Save America Act, just go back and Google it, okay? Reasonable people can disagree about specific policies. But every American should agree on one principle. Voting should be secure, and voting should be accessible. Democracy works best when more Americans participate, not fewer. Now let's talk about priorities. For decades, the United States has spent extraordinary sums responding to conflicts overseas. Billions of dollars. Just remember the recent Iran boondoggle that we have gone into. $2 billion a day. At the same time, families struggle to afford housing. Parents work multiple jobs. Schools need investment. Roads, bridges, water systems, and public transportation require modernization. Healthcare remains out of reach for too many Americans. The question isn't whether America should lead the world, folks. The question is whether we are showing the same commitment to rebuilding our own communities. Because a strong nation begins at home. Perhaps the greatest danger we face isn't economic, it isn't military, it isn't technological, it is division. We are constantly encouraged to fear each other. Urban versus rural, black versus white, native born versus immigrant, Christian versus Muslim, liberals versus conservative. Every disagreement becomes a battle. Every election becomes an existential crisis. Every compromise becomes betrayal. And while we fight each other, the real challenges continue. Rising costs, declining trust, infrastructure needs, climate risk, public health, education, the issues that affect every American regardless of party. Division, folks, is profitable. It drives ratings, it drives fundraising, it drives clicks, but it does not solve problems. Here is what concerns me most. Too many Americans have started believing democracy is something else to support and protect. It isn't. The Constitution doesn't protect itself. The courts don't protect themselves. A free press doesn't protect itself. Free elections don't protect themselves. The American experiment, folks, survives only when citizens defend it. Every generation has inherited this responsibility. Now it is ours. So, what do? We reject cynicism. We reject political idolatry. No elected official is above criticism. No political party deserves blind loyalty. No ideology should be immune from scrutiny. We should demand transparency. We should expect ethical leadership. We defend an independent judiciary. We support a free and independent press, programs like what we are doing over here with the lightning strike. We insist that every eligible American has both the right to vote and the practical ability to vote. We become active in our schools, our libraries, our neighborhoods, our town halls, our unions, our civic organizations. Democracy is not a spectator sport. It is participatory, right? The Constitution begins with 3 words, folks. Not we the wealthy, not we the powerful, not we the connected, we the people. Those 3 words are both a promise and a responsibility. Every generation chooses whether those words become stronger or weaker, whether democracy expands or contracts, whether liberty belongs to everyone or only to those who can afford it or those who can buy it. 250 years ago, our founders pledged their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor. Today, preserving democracy asks something different. Pay attention, ask questions, demand evidence, challenge misinformation, even when it becomes from your own sides also. Hold every leader accountable. Vote, volunteer, serve your community, stand up for the rights of people whose views you may never share. Because constitutional rights only matter if they belong to all of us, not just to those we agree with. America's greatest strength has never been that we are perfect, that we don't do anything wrong. Our greatest strength is the ability to confront our imperfections, to learn, to reform, to better become today than what we were yesterday. That is the real American tradition. Not complacency, not blind loyalty, progress. This nation belongs to every one of us, folks, not to political parties, not to billionaires, not to special interests, not to presidents, not to judges, not to corporations, especially not to foreign countries who try to run our foreign policy for us. It belongs to the people. And as long as the people remain engaged, the American experiment lives on. I'm Mohammed Faheem. This has been the Lightning Strike. Thank you so much for tuning in to us on WCPT 820 AM. Every Sunday morning from 8 to 10 we are here. And now I'd like to bring in our team to get their views on what I just ranted about, because I put this rant
Very
on
nice
my
rant.
Substack, guys, on
Love your
Facebook.
rant.
And okay, so Mike, let's start with you. What do you think?
Well, I agree 100,000% on what you said. Okay, I mean, the main focus is to get people to participate. I just had that discussion with Chris Hilbert this morning. It's a contact sport. You have to get involved in politics. You have to get involved. That's one of the things that drew me. I started watching the lightning strike 2 years ago, and I never thought I was going to be on the panel. I'm so happy to be working with Dr. White, especially, and so happy to have my good friend Chris Hilbert with me. But Chris and I have been working to get people involved in the Mid-Cities Democrats in Texas. We did that for 10 years. And we practically changed the county. It was just amazing what we did. And if people start getting involved and realizing how important their input is and what changes you can make just by showing up, right? And showing up to help the people that are out there, the activists that we're featuring on the District Watch segment, the people that we bring on this show. They need you to get involved with them. They need backup. I mean, I've seen Delia Ramirez several times on stage, once with Bernie Sanders in Chicago, And she spent 10 minutes telling everybody, I need some help. Please, give me some help. Elect, somebody that can back me up and back you up. And so just, it's so important. And that's why your nice little rant,
Okay.
very nicely said. And I think it was great. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Mike. And that's the important thing, Mike. We have to participate. Okay. I was talking with a Republican candidate. Okay. We're going to bring him on our show in August. I was talking with him last week, Wednesday or Thursday. Okay. And he's running for Congress in the 14th district. You should look at his platform. We're going to talk about that in a bit, okay? Amongst like 7 or 8 points that he had, one of the points that he wanted, at the very end, you know what he had? Any guesses, anybody?
No.
Oh man, that's a hard one.
That's
No?
tough.
Just what I was talking about in my rant. He had, at the very end of 8 points, ban Sharia law.
Oh,
Okay? Ban Sharia law. And the interesting thing is, I happen to agree with him. Okay. So we're going to sit down and have a talk. I want to ask him how many states in America are actually implementing Sharia law.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Okay.
None,
And
probably.
we have spoken about this in the past. What exactly is Sharia law also? Now, as a Muslim, I am expected to go by certain rules, like like a Christian or a Catholic or a Jew has the personal rules in their life. Now, I don't expect, as a Muslim, to ever have to implement Sharia law for everyone in America. In fact, I am told by the same law that this is your personal law, not for public.
right.
Okay, and if I am living in a Muslim country, then that applies to everybody in that country, including me. But if I'm living in a country where religion is not the driving factor, I am expected by Sharia law to respect the law of the land first in
Right.
all my dealings with everyone else in the country. The law of the land is supreme for me in my dealings with my fellow citizens. I can't even talk to them and say, hey, no, I want to bring in Sharia law. So this is gaslighting on behalf of the far right. They
Yeah.
want to keep us divided. They want to keep us fighting each other, not trusting each other. And that is all it is. So I'm going to have it sit down with him. We'll have a cup of coffee, and I want to kind of educate him as to, hey, listen, just for the sake of a few right-wing MAGA votes, don't shoot yourself in the foot. Okay,
Yeah.
folks. So if you want to join the conversation, the number to join is 773-763-9278 or WCPT. Chris always has it on the background in her thing, picture over there. And I think in about 5 minutes, we have our person of the week joining us. Mahnoor Ahmad would be joining us, and Mike will reintroduce. Mahnoor has been here before, so we'll have Mike talk to her, and Chris is producing our segment for our person of the week, which
Nope,
is
the District Watch.
District Watch.
sorry, District Watch.
That's okay.
There's so
I'm
many
telling you.
special segments going on.
Still
Yeah.
celebrating from the 250th.
Yeah.
So if you want to be featured
Oh,
as our correspondent on the District Watch, folks, please send an email to Chris, Hilbert, Hilbert at tlsradio.com for the Lightning Strike Radio. And or you can send it to our general mailbox, which is tls820am at gmail.com. Dr. Sheila White produces our Person of the Week segment, and she will be bringing in her Person of the Week in the second hour. And also, additional responsibility for Dr. White is if you have a community announcement to make, if something good is happening in your community, please send us an email, and we'll be happy to let our listeners know what is happening in your community, okay? And speaking of that, the most important thing that is happening in our community is what, guys, on July 29th?
Yes, the
Most
fundraiser.
important.
Wow. Talk about some good food. Let's talk about it.
And a good time.
Yeah.
Yep, so July 29th is our first fundraiser in 3 years. We like to keep the show commercial free. As you may have been noticing, we don't play too many commercials or any commercials at this point. But we do want our listeners to support the show. And on July 29th at the Bolingbrook Community Center from 6:30 to 9:30, we are having our first fundraiser. Please go to our website, tlsradio.com, for the Lightning Strike Radio. And you will find a link to purchase the tickets. We're keeping it very, very affordable, about $75 per person. And go and bring your friends with you. Buy a table, okay? And we're going to have some great food, which is catered by Al Bawadi Grill. We have some great music that Bill Shepard will be there entertaining us in the evening. Ray Hanania, who sponsors our segment of What's on Your Mind, will be there emceeing the event. And we are going to be there. Chris is actually flying down from Texas to join us.
Yay!
Very exciting.
Yes.
So you get to meet with us, and also we are going to be having a very special remembrance for Ken DeLuke, who started the show with me on WCPT. Ken unfortunately passed away a few months back in December, actually, right around Christmas Day.
Yeah.
And he was in the hospital for a while. I went and visited him the day before he passed away. So Ken's partner Diane will be there to receive a commemorative token in appreciation of what Ken has done for us in the show right from the beginning. And you guys don't worry about it, Mike, Chris, Sheila. When you guys pass away, we'll do something similar for you.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay.
Remembrance.
Okay. So 8:29, and by the way, happy birthday to Sheila's partner.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you, it's not 250th, but it's getting up there, I'll tell you. Still a great
Getting
celebration.
close.
Yep, his birthday was yesterday, and thank you, Sheila, for spending the time with him, making sure that he feels special, and he is special.
Yeah, he is, And it's great to celebrate. We're talking about with your rant, the 250th birthday. It's so important because, when you said division is profitable, that is so key to what's happening and what's going on. Division doesn't solve a problem, but it's up to every generation to keep moving forward and to keep working together. It's so, so important. And so as people are still celebrating, I'm sure today, but this 250th birthday, it belongs to the people. It definitely belongs to the people. And our government exists to serve the people, but we have really strayed away from what we talked about, the traditional fundamental things that were set up. I mean, we really strayed away from that in a lot of ways, and we're still struggling. We're still struggling in a lot of ways, but it was good to be able to celebrate America's freedom on yesterday, and people were able to get some sleep. Some people weren't because it continued beyond 12 o'clock, but it was a good time had by all, and I just hope that we can have a fresh energy going into the next celebration for the 251st. That we will still be able to come together, work together, and I hope that this administration comes to its senses and brings
Well,
back some of those fundamental
that
things
that
that we
was something
follow.
that I started off with, Sheila.
Mhm.
The foundation was not perfect, okay? They didn't say that, hey, this is it, there's no changes. Okay, they knew that we were imperfect
Yeah,
society as human
yeah.
beings. And then if we just get away from all this gaslighting that is there, especially on behalf of a foreign power, man, for the last, what, 59, 60 years, Israel has been driving America's foreign policy. And they keep in pumping billions of dollars, millions of dollars, and then take away more than what they are pumping in
Yeah.
into our political system. On that note, 8:31, we'll bring in our District Watch correspondent. Let's welcome in. Let us see, Mahnoor Ahmad. And Mahnoor, I'm going to bring you in by adding a spotlight. Good morning.
Morning, everyone. I hope you guys had a wonderful fourth. I heard some talk about the 250. I mean, it
Yeah.
was definitely worth celebrating. People who made this country great were the ones, sitting back saying good and, it's not good enough. We still have a lot of work to do ahead of us. Just got to keep pushing forward. And that's the side I'm on, to make some progress.
Especially, Manu, the best thing was I ran into a Republican candidate for Congress in the 14th district. He's going to be
Yeah.
challenging Lauren Underwood, and
Okay.
he gave me his card and all of that. Great guy. We're going to bring him on onto the lightning strike. He promised to come.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
amongst the 8 or 9 campaign, things that he has on his card, the last one was ban Sharia law. I'm like, oh man. And I just had a long rant on that I agree with him. We should ban Sharia law, okay? But what exactly is Sharia law, okay? It applies to my personal life and, living in a country,
Excuse
I
me, but
have to,
I think you're starting to rant into my segment.
yes, Mike, but I mean, I just can't let
Oh,
go of that bone because, the right-wing
Yeah.
extremists are using that, as a dog whistle to divide us as Americans.
oh,
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that, they just want a boogeyman, not a real issue. What people actually care about is, can my kid go see the doctor? Can my family afford rent? Can school systems have what we need? People want something in their real lives. You know, I think that's just division,
Yep,
you
Manu,
know.
go back and listen to my rant later on when we post this on
Yes.
YouTube. That's exactly what I was saying. That
Yeah,
hey,
really.
3%, 4% of Americans are Muslims. We cannot bring
Hmm.
in Sharia law across the country. In
Right,
fact, Sharia law itself tells me that I have to first obey the law of the country that I'm living in.
right.
Okay, but back to Mike. Mike,
oh,
what do you
oh,
have with Manur?
me? Oh, thank you. Good morning, Mahnoor.
Morning.
Nice to see you again.
It is always good to see you, Mike.
Yes, we saw a lot of each other a couple years ago, didn't we?
Yes, for sure.
Well, tell everybody a little bit about yourself so everybody can know almost as much as I know about you.
Mhm.
Okay, well, you know me for a while. I don't know. It's going to take a lot of time if I had to, fill everyone in. But a little bit about me. I'm a public health director. I'm a mom of a toddler, and I work in health policy, Medicaid coverage programs that keep regular people from falling the cracks. I've been doing this work for years in state and government and beyond. I came up with this stuff myself, daughter of I am an immigrant. I built my life here. So when I fight for working families in suburbs, it's not just talking points for me, it's the actual life I have lived. So in short, DuPage County public health is, my world, and fighting for working families. That's the short version.
Well, that's very nice. Maybe you could tell us what you ran for publicly. You've run for Congress, right?
Yes.
Against Sean Casten.
Yes.
We're still trying to get rid of him. And also, what you ran for the county board seat too. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I ran for United States Congress, and I ran on the platform for healthcare, and things shifted as things shift during campaigns. It was a heated campaign. And what we realized is we have a lot of work to do in DuPage County. So the work was not over. So that is why I ran in DuPage County. And really, it was to run to get the message out, to talk to voters and really tell them this is a people powered campaign. We take no corporate money. You are our neighbors, just knocking doors, 100% grassroots, and really building that groundwork in DuPage County. And that is what we keep on doing still. I still am in talks with DuPage County, and most especially with their public health department, working with infection prevention programs. So I'm still very connected in DuPage County, and the work has not stopped. What I learned in my congressional race is that figuring out how much ground we really need to break in DuPage County and really educating the voters and letting them know that there are other options. We don't have to be just vote blue no matter who, and don't be scared that if we don't get the incumbents in, we'll lose it to a Republican. Things have shifted, and they have options, and people can fight for the actual candidates they want to vote for. So I'm keeping the fight here with the community alongside me, and it's been good so far.
Well, I appreciate that. One of my favorite DuPage County Board members, Lynn LaPlante, was on the show. Very progressive, probably not many progressives on that DuPage County Board, I don't think.
Yes, yeah, Lynn is amazing.
I don't know where they came from, but we have to get rid of them and put some progressives in their place because, they're giving themselves raises, all sorts of strange goings on over there in DuPage County. But what I want to ask you a question about that. I mean, what happened? How come you didn't get the traction to win? What does it take to win a race like that for the county board? I mean,
Yeah, so the inside baseball is that when I started running, there was the DuPage Women's Group who figured out that I was going to run for the county board position. So they recruited one of their own because they were still upset that I ran against the establishment. So there's still, DuPage County is like this antique machine that still wants to, quote unquote, punish people who ran against incumbents. And they just want to protect that base. And so, it is changing, but it's not changing fast enough. And they have used the rock red, this has been Republican county and we can't have, progressive because that's just not electable. But honestly, that is just a talking point to keep the establishment and to keep the people in place to just stay there. And a lot of the elected officials who are elected are in place because of the PCs, because of these individuals who've gatekeep, people like me off. And the elected officials don't even step into the streets or these events. And it's really the PCs and all these chairs and the other county members that just want to keep the establishment base really concrete. And that's and when we were campaigning, we were just unapologetically saying that, we are not part of this establishment. We are for the people because, for the people, by the people. It shouldn't represent anyone else, anyone's special interest groups. So, so I'll be straight with you. Did we lose? Yeah, sure. You ran in a people powered campaign in a quote purple district, no corporate money, and you move in numbers, and you put these issues on the map. I wouldn't consider that a big loss. I think that's building something. The establishment wants you to quiet after one race. Yesterday, I went to the parade, and in front of us was the establishment, a lot of the candidates that worked aggressively against people like me. And they were just jaw dropped to see, oh my God, is she here? Like, yeah, I'm not done. Like, that's what they want you to do. They want to keep pushing you so down that they're like, oh, there you go. And then, they're like, oh, what? Why is she here again? But that's what we have to say. This is a country for everyone. And we have a place in it, and we have to show up, and we have to really make that known.
That's very, very well.
just real quickly,
Yeah.
Mohammed, then I'll give her to you and Chris. When I first met you, I really was attracted to your fighting spirit, right? And you're
Yeah.
a fighter, and that's what we need. Eventually, we're going to get you in there. But we have
Yes.
you can't put the fighting spirit into people. Either you have it
Mhm.
or you don't have it, and you have it. So I appreciate that, and thank
Thank
you.
you. I'll keep on fighting for the
Okay.
community and the working class.
Manur, here's the thing that I wanted to jump in with real quick. Okay,
Yeah.
uh, what you are doing and what a lot of other candidates or progressive candidates are doing, you're laying the foundation to build a house on. So
Yeah.
when you want to build a house, you just don't go and start putting things together with the
Hmm.
framing and the plumbing and the electrical. First, you have to dig the foundation.
Yeah.
And when you're digging the
Yes.
foundation, that is where the hard work is. All the dirt is coming out, but
Yeah.
you're laying a solid foundation
Hmm.
for a career in helping the people.
Right. And you need the bigger and stronger the foundation, the better it's going to be all around for everybody for a longer time.
Yeah.
Right. It's hard
Yeah.
to dismantle a very strong foundation.
And
Yeah, and
as
I
long
agree
as
100% because everyone who worked on my congressional campaign was a progressive and they've not left. They became PCs in different
Awesome.
cities. They've become chair members. So we have created this whole, coalition all around the district at this point.
one of the things, and you use the word, I lost. No, you did not lose. You won. Okay.
Yeah.
And I was in Springfield a few years back for a training camp for like a 3-4 day training camp for the Democratic Party and how to run for office and stuff like that. And I had just come off the ballot in the 8th district in 2019 against Raja Krishnamurthy.
Yeah.
So I dropped out because this guy with his millions of dollars was afraid of me to the point that he challenged my petition. Okay.
Yeah.
And he had never challenged anyone in his life. But I ran into Dick Durbin over there, and we
Yeah.
were standing around talking, and Dick said, "Hey, this is just the beginning. Run again." And then he called
Yeah.
Michael Frericks over, the state treasurer. Says, "Mike, come over here." And Mike comes over. I don't know if you have met Mike Frericks guys or not. He is like 7 feet something tall.
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay. And Mike comes in, and Dick says, uh, "How many times did you lose your elections before you won your first one?" And he goes,
Hmm.
"4 times."
Yeah.
And then Dick says, "Let me tell you about someone else who lost their first few elections. His name was Barack
Yeah.
Hussein Obama."
Yeah.
So, building the foundation that you have done is very important. And
Thank
folks,
you.
our guest on our District Watch segment is Mahnoor Ahmad. And if you want to be featured as a District Watch correspondent on the Lightning Strike, please contact Chris Hilbert, CHILBERT at tlsradio.com, or send us a message on our general mailbox, TLS 820am at gmail.com. And Chris and Mike tag team on this segment together. Mike, thank you so much for stepping up to do this thing. Here's the thing, Manur.
Yeah.
What were your campaign issues when you ran, and how do you see, because you were running against Sean Casten then, like Joey was in the last election. Has anything changed with Sean and his uh, priorities?
Yeah, so it's such an interesting district because it's so large. So we have DuPage and Cook County. Cook County, when I ran, I got a lot of love from Cook County. This was something that was changing, but DuPage is where, they pull a lot of votes, and there's some kind of antique machine that is in place, and we need to move forward because there's so many young families that are moving into DuPage from Chicago at this point since I ran, and they are looking for something new, something fresh and affordable affordability is definitely number one on the ticket when it comes to housing, cost of living. People are being squeezed, especially suburban families who have multiple kids, and there's a lack of transparency. There's no, they don't know where this corporate PAC money is coming, because you don't know who your representative is to really you answer to. So really, even talking to voters and going on their door and just talking to a lot of these individuals, it's like, wow, yeah, we see that. And now we have we just had the Illinois Progressive Group that I'm sure you know about. Now we have two different groups in DuPage. They're called the Progressives. And, it's the Women's Western Suburbs Progressive Group, and it's the other DuPage Progressive Alliance. So there are people who are moving outside of the quote unquote establishment, and they're forming their own groups where they feel, a place they can really talk about affordability, clean government, and that space has founded its place, which was never the case when I first started running.
Yeah, we had Morgan Coghill also as our district watch correspondent a couple of shows back, and he was talking about the new progressive group that is formed over in the 10th district also. So
Yeah.
folks, it's not going against the establishment, okay? But the Democratic Party leadership needs to take a hard look at what are the people wanting, not so much as to what are the donors wanting. Best example was in New York, where Mamdani won against everybody. And then in the recent congressional primaries, again, the wave of following what Mamdani is doing is growing stronger across the country. Dr. White, we have you quietly sitting in the background over here. You got anything that you want to share with?
You know what? I just want to say congratulations on the campaign, because you are a winner.
Thank you. Thanks.
The fact that you are a mom of a toddler, you are a fighter. I think that's what we have to
Thanks.
focus on. Moms of toddlers are fighting, just trying to get their clothes on, get them to eat their vegetables. But in all seriousness, it does take a fight to win, and most people that have the fight in them, like Mike said, those are the people that will sustain and be able to maintain what it takes to make it in today's world. So I commend you on the fight.
Thank you.
I mean,
Thank you so
I
much.
can see that you have the Mike Tyson bite in you, that you're going to go after it and you're going to bite him at the ear. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's what it's going to be.
So, Manur, one of
Thank
the
you.
things that we are doing is we are doing our first fundraising dinner on July 29th, Wednesday.
Okay.
I will send you
Jul-
information. Mike will send you
Okay.
information. Please do come. And you
I
get
will,
to
for
meet
sure.
a lot of progressives, a lot of like-minded people. We are expecting about 250 people to fit in that room.
Amazing.
And it's going to be at the Bolingbrook Community Center. So
Okay, so not too far.
Yeah, not too
No.
far. Wednesday, July
Yeah.
29th in the evening.
Your neighborhood.
Yeah.
Okay. And do bring some, family and friends with you, and
For
the
sure.
progressive groups that are forming in the area. So we get to meet with each other in person.
Yeah.
Another thing that we are doing, Mike, like I was discussing a few shows back, once or twice a month, we want to meet at a place in different parts of Chicagoland in person. Not sell anything, not push anything, just get to know each other, talk to each other in person, not virtually over the phone. We have lost that personal touch.
Yeah.
And a couple of weeks back, we had our person of the week with Everything Delicious. Who was that, Sheila?
Yes. Yes, you told me about, you came by there to the restaurant and the
Yep.
mitts.
So this is a young lady who just recently
Okay.
started a restaurant in Joliet.
Okay.
So I had promised her that, hey, I will bring you some mint from my garden.
Okay.
And I took like a whole bag of mint to her the other day. And I looked around, new place, perfect location, great parking. So I was talking to her. I said, hey, Virginia, I think if we can do something like that over here, would you be interested? And she says, yeah, please. Use
Oh,
my
that's
place.
awesome.
Yeah.
You don't have to buy anything. So we might start off with her place in August.
Okay.
And just come in the evening for a couple of hours, talk to each other, discuss issues. Again, not pushing any political agenda as such.
Yeah.
but that is something that we will be starting to do. Mike, you got any more questions for Manur?
No, I'm really happy that she's committed live to coming to the fundraiser. I
Yes.
appreciate that, and because I was going to use her as a draw to get people to come there because you are a very exciting person, very
Well,
very
the
energetic, very and people need to meet you in person to get the real effect, right?
and
Yeah.
our friends from the American Arab Chamber of Commerce are actively helping us put this together. And in fact,
Okay.
Ray Hanania will be our MC.
Oh, perfect. I love Ray.
Okay, and Al Bawadi Grill is going to be catering the event.
Okay, perfect.
So a lot of good people, and again, it's not the way that I liked about our show. Even though that we are on WCPT, Progressive Talk Radio Station, we are open to people from other thoughts of life, other ways of
Right.
life, to come and talk to us.
Yeah, it's so
The
important to have those conversations for sure.
Yeah, and the community
The
center,
dialogue.
believe it or not, Bolingbrook Mayor Mary Basta is working with us to get us that facility. So nice of her. She is not a progressive. She is not a
Yeah.
Democrat. But hey, she is for America first, okay? And she is for having a dialogue with people.
Yeah.
The Plainfield Mayor, John Argedelis, who is a Republican, I met him the other day, and John said, I would love to be there, Mohammed. This
Yeah.
is how we want our country to function. Human being to human being, okay?
Yeah.
Talk to each other. We all have the same interests. We all live in the same country. And there's no sense in, oh, he's a Republican, I'm a Democrat, and no, he's a radical,
Yeah.
whatever, socialist, Democrat, these are all labels that are put
Right.
from people who want to, keep us divided. Okay, Mike wants us to see if Chris has any
Yeah, I
ending
do.
remarks over here.
So, Manor, nice to see you again.
Thank you.
I really am really impressed at your super fighting spirit and just go
Thank
out
you.
there and conquer the world. That is. I wish I had known you when I was your age, so I could have had somebody to look up to, and
thank
a little
you.
bit better in my life. But I was just curious, and I'm sure our listeners are as well. Were you always this way? Did you get encouragement from your parents? So where did your fighting spirit first show up? How did you recognize it? What do you want to tell us about your fighting spirit and the encouragement you got from family, friends, teachers, whoever?
I think it was just like how maybe I was raised. My parents always taught me, to just do the right thing. I mean, even when they both were when they used to work in Pakistan, and they had their own clinic. They used to treat patients who didn't have health care. And moving to a country where you have so many resources and working in public health industry, no matter how much work I did on the ground, the policies in place just didn't help out patients. And
Right.
really seeing, like, there was this one patient who was who was a young guy who went to the ER, and he became an amputee because his diabetes went completely uncontrolled, and now he's in an apartment with no family, and he's an amputee and has no help, so even like using the bathroom and just living by himself. And that was just really heartening to see that there is something we can do about that. There is so much
Right.
we can do about that. And that is when I started running for Congress. I'm like, someone needs to bring this to the table to really have people understand that we have so many resources, so much money that we could put in for American lives and save them. Because now the guy was I think in his mid 20s or 30s, and now he has to spend the rest of his life, like that. So I think just seeing that was really something that really pushed me. But I think every day that I wake up, I'm like, how like you have to live a life on your on your own 2 feet, and to being able to really help the community in every way you can. And that's the fight, that I want to fight. And I do believe that there's so much that we can do, and we're so close in getting that done. I mean, we've seen so much progress just nationally, and there's also, like Mohammed Faheem was saying, there's a trickle down effect. Things that happen in New York, there's always going to be a trickle down effect, and we're going to see that.
Yeah.
So, Manur, if someone wants to get in touch with you, how do they get in touch with you? How do we communicate with you? I know Mike has your phone number. I got your phone number. But the rest of the world, the rest of the listeners out there.
Yeah, I mean, follow me on my socials, my Instagram. Any kind of message I would get, I would reply to you. So it's my first name Mahnoor, last name AHMAD_IL for Illinois. So just follow me at Mahnoor Ahmad _ Illinois, and I'll be able to. I'm keep that pretty updated, and I'll respond to you if you guys have any questions.
Well, I got a question for you. Okay.
Yeah.
So on one side of the table are the doctors,
Yeah.
and the other side of the table are the patients.
Yeah.
Why do they call us patient? It is because we have to go and sit there patiently when we have a 11 o'clock appointment, and the doctor does not even see us till 11:45.
Oh yeah, that must be yes, that is perfect.
Exactly.
I think
Hey,
that is exactly what it is.
let me interject something real quick. Talking to segue of doctors. I've met her father. Her father is just a wonderful human being, and
thank you.
that gives. I can see he backs her. He supports her. You wouldn't believe. I've had numerous conversations with the guy. He's a humble man. He's a doctor, and he's got this spirit of quiet humanitarianism. He's very concerned about his fellow man, and I think that's where you get a lot of it.
Well,
thank you.
It really comes down to that. Okay, it's not like someone hit her on the head one day and said, "Oh, I'm going to run for Congress." It has to come from somewhere deep within. We are also going to be featuring some wonderful people in the coming weeks. One of them is the sister of a good friend of mine. She is just been appointed as the Bangladeshi ambassador to the United Nations.
Okay, wow.
So we'll be bringing her on Harvard Law grad and everything. Okay.
Yeah.
We are also going to be featuring Dr. Asaf Saeed, who was the Indian Consul General over here in Chicago some years back, then Indian ambassador to a few countries. He has agreed to come on the show. So we're going to be having some pretty, how would I say, not influential people, but informed people who know, what is happening in the world coming on the show also. Manur, thank you so much for joining us. It's 8:58, folks.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be taking a break at 9 o'clock for the top of the hour on NBC News coming on WCPT. Manur, do come on July 29th. Please put it on your calendar. Bring your family
I will be there.
with you.
I'll be there, and I'll spread the word.
I'd love to meet your parents and your sister and the whole family, and the people from the DuPage Progressives over there. We need to have this, instead of having a convention where only certain people are allowed to speak. Remember what happened with the presidential convention when Kamala Harris was running? Okay. The people who really wanted to come up and speak, who wanted to push for a ceasefire in Palestine, they were not even allowed to come on the stage, folks.
Mm-hmm.
So, we need to take our country back. We need to take our country back. And our guest today on our District Watch segment, Mahnoor Ahmad. Thank you so much. Mahnoor Ahmad _IL, if you want to follow her on socials. And we'll be taking a station break in just a couple of minutes. But we are going to be still live on Facebook over here. Mahnoor, if you want to continue to stay, please feel free. Marie Newman is going to be joining us in the second hour with her guest, who is going to be Alderwoman Leni Manaa Hoppenworth.
Nice.
So I had a tough time just pronouncing her name, so I wrote it down. I had to look at my notes.
I like Leni. She's awesome. Leni is cute.
Okay. Yeah, so she should be joining us, and Marie also is going to be talking about housing. that is
Oh.
so critical. We did manage to kind of put a stop to the idea of our dear governor about Build Illinois, which was going to take away the option, not the option, the power of local municipalities
Yeah.
to decide where we're going to be having zoning laws or not. So that was stopped, and we are also going to be having in August, August 12th, I believe, we're going to have a couple of other guests joining us. So this is becoming more and more fun every Sunday that we
Yes.
do.
That's awesome.
Exciting. Very exciting. Oh, and if I might add, we're throwing in some more of your DuPage County friends. Lynn Casey Maher and Maggie Wonderly are going to be on the district watch.
Perfect.
So you have some more sisters in arms.
And
coming up.
Suzanne Akras is going to be joining us on District Watch also, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
she's very excited about that.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, we've had all sorts of fighters coming on this program. That's why they call it the lightning strike.
Yeah, just tune into a lightning strike and you get all the intel.
Okay. And tlsradio.com is the place to go to buy tickets for the fundraiser. So please pass the word out. It's very easy. There's a link there. Click on it.
Perfect.
And then come on down for some fun and food. Hey, Chris is actually flying down from Texas to join us. Can you imagine
Oh,
anything?
wow.
Yeah,
Yes, that is
wait.
amazing.
She's staying in my house too. So I'm gonna
Hey,
give her a tour of Chicago.
do you have enough space in the broom closet?
Yeah, I got a big basement.
No, I was talking about her vehicle.
Her vehicle. Yes.
Okay, folks. It's 9:02. The station is on a break, so we are having this fun here on Facebook. Please participate if you want to call in. The segment is What's on Your Mind, sponsored by our dear friend, dear Ray Hanania. The number to call in is on top of Chris over there, 773-763-9278. Let me repeat it very slow for the Republicans out there. 773-763-9278. Okay, I hope you got it. I put my rant as a Substack article, and then I posted a link on my Facebook page. Oh man, they started coming out from under the rock on that. Okay,
They
the
did.
bots and the far right people.
The bots.
Yeah, and the first thing that triggered them was my name.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, and they did not even read anything. They just started jumping in, and Chris started punching them back. I started punching them back.
I did. I can't help myself. I just can't stand stupid people being racist and sexist and idiotic. It's a trigger,
Irritating.
Very.
What?
I go all mama bear on these people. Be decent human beings or just drop off the planet. We don't need you here.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, I think your hand is going to get tired. You
Oh, yeah,
you got it raised.
That's what I got to do with some people that just continue their rant throughout the whole show.
Hey,
Hello.
that is how we function in here, okay? Okay. So again, folks, it's your show, okay? It's not my show. It is not anybody that is over here, Chris or Mike or Sheila. What? It is your show, okay? We want you to participate and again give a voice to those people who are not being heard. And corporate media is not going to allow that chance to you. Corporate advertisers are not going to have people discuss things so openly. And that's what we do over here on the Lightning Strike. We've been doing it for 3 years now. We'll be starting our 4th year in September, Manur.
Woohoo!
wow, that's congratulations. It's awesome.
Yes. Survive.
Time flies, and in our
Yeah.
fundraising dinner on the 29th, we will be recognizing Ken DeLuke. You remember Ken? He was in the studios with us when you were running for Congress.
Yes, I remember him. Yeah, yes, yes.
Ken passed away after a short illness, on
Oh,
in December on Christmas Day last year.
so sorry to hear that.
Yeah, and so his last thought were he was calling out for me, and his sister called me from the hospital and said, "Hey, Ken is asking for you, Muhammad. Can you please come?" And I went over, you know, basically took him in my arms. He was so weak. He's like, "Have you come to take me home?" And the next day he passed away. So Diane, his life partner, is going to be there at the dinner. We want to have a little recognition for Ken's contributions to the show. And I did promise Chris and Sheila and Mike that we'll do the same for them when they pass away.
I don't know. You might change your mind with me. I've only been on the show a little bit. You know, I might get booted off. You know.
Hey, no, Mike. Whatever that you have done has been tremendous. Okay, so really appreciate all your help, guys. This is something I could have done it by myself, but that is so stupid. Sitting there for 2 hours ranting away, and Mike pulls me back with his hand raised up and says, "Hey, stop ranting."
Well,
Okay.
you know, somebody's got to keep you in line here.
Oh, I'm telling you,
But
Mike.
you know, well,
Okay.
let me. Well, we still have Manor here. You know,
Yeah.
running her campaign was so wild because
Okay,
we
we are
didn't
back
have a
on
lot of,
WCPT, by the way.
we didn't have a lot of time.
No, we are back on WCPT. The break is
Oh, we
over.
are? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we really enjoyed working her campaign because it was like the Wild West show. Um, we made, and she was building the foundation the hard way because
Yes.
it was like blood, sweat, and tears every day, and it really established her character, and that's what I wanted to leave with. That, you know, it's the character of these people that we want representing us that's so important. You
Yeah.
know, we're sick and tired of these people that will say or do anything just to get elected, and then you never see them again. Manora's not one of those people.
Yeah, guys,
Um,
I'll be here fighting since day one and every day. Keep you guys
yes,
updated. You know, what's going on, what's not going on, and what we need to work on. And I think that's the way government should work for the people among the elected officials hand in hand.
Yeah.
The
yes,
most
Well said.
important thing, guys, that you need to do, come out and vote. Running for office is not easy. I've done it, okay? And I'm not going to do it again because I can have more of a, I won't say not an impact, but more of an input through
Yeah.
hanging around with people like Manur and others, young people who are
Yeah.
taking the lead. Let's face it, I'm an old fart, okay? So not going to run for office again. Mike might run for office because he looks ready for
I'm
that.
older than you, dude.
Oh, come on, Mike. You just turned 65, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, I give away Mike's age. We're not going to talk about Dr. White because she always looks beautiful, no matter what. Okay.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
had three toddlers. I had three toddlers at one time, so I get it, Manor. I get it.
Oh, you do get it. You do get it.
No, but honestly, running for office is very tough
Yes, it
because
is.
everybody tries to get a piece of you. And then we have this consultants, so-called, who come in from other states who have made a racket of running, campaigns. And then the poor candidate ends up paying them thousands of dollars for advice that did not come from the grassroots. And that's what we are trying to do with this district watch. What are the people thinking when you go knock on their doors? Not a consultant putting his finger in the air and saying, these are the 3 top things that you need to run on, Mr. Candidate or Miss Candidate. And then they take their money and they go away. I mean, that's why we lost millions of dollars in District 8, okay, twice. We
Yep.
lost millions of dollars in District 9. We have lost literally millions, and the message was not going to the right people. You know, the people that would come out and vote. People have become disillusioned. Why should I vote? My vote does not count. It does not matter. And that is what these people depend on. They think that, okay, you're not going to vote. We know you're not going to vote. So here's our $1 million contribution through this PAC and that PAC, either supporting or tearing down a candidate running against their person. Our country has been sold, folks, and we have allowed it to be sold.
Yep.
So take it back. Take it back. Like Manoj just said, we the people. That is what we stand off. We the people. It is by us, for us, and that is how it should be.
Well,
Let me add something else. Let me real quick. Oh, I'm sorry, Chris. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I have a phrase that I use on social media, well, in person too. Hashtag vote better, get better, which requires you to pay attention, do a little bit of research, and vote for what you want, not for who will win, who you think will win, right? Who you think will win doesn't always get you where you want to be. So vote for what you want and you will get better.
There you go. And right on time, Congresswoman Marie Newman is joining us. Good morning, Marie.
Good morning, everyone.
Our
morning.
district watch person today is Mahnoor Ahmad, Marie. And okay.
I'm a fan.
Yep. So
I'm a fan of Marie.
And so Manur is going to be coming for our fundraising dinner with her family, Marie.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes. Yeah. Are you going to be there, Marie?
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
She is going to be sitting right at the head table and speaking to the audience. Okay. So we got our Marie, your guest, is joining us. So if you could please get into Leni, Manaa, Hoppenworth, and just introduce her and then go into what you want to talk about. I'm bringing Leni in. Good morning, Leni.
Good morning, Mohammed. Thank you for having me. Hi, everyone. Hi, Marie.
Hello.
Hello.
So the mic is over to Miss Newman.
All righty. Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Ignore Your Risk. This morning, we have the good fortune of having Leni Manaa Hoppenworth, the alderman. And oh my gosh, Leni, remind me of the number of your ward.
48th Ward, which is on the northeast side, Edgewater and Uptown.
Right. And with some amazing restaurants, I might add, not to pitch it too much, but amazing restaurants. Interestingly enough, the Alderwoman and I go way back to Indivisible days. She was an amazing community organizer and community leader at that time. And that's how I originally met the Alderwoman. And wow, she has done some amazing things for other people and then is now leading a ward that is filled with amazing things, but also some challenges too, which is why we're having on today. And interestingly, you know what's on my mind a great deal is housing right now. And Leni has done some really interesting things in her ward and also continues to be challenged by the big kind of elephant in the room for Chicago in general. Every ward has housing challenges. So, with the housing bill at the federal level, which will pass, and a little bit on that, folks, this bill would cut down on the number of the federal bill would cut down on the number of purchases by PE firms and corporate housing, huge monopolies, and make a little bit more affordable housing. It's a good bill. It's a bipartisan bill. And of course, because it is a good bill, Trump is trying to stop it or slow it down. Since it passed by an 85% majority in the House and Senate, it will become bill regardless because it's veto proof at the federal level. It'll just dawdle a little bit before it gets there, but housing is everywhere, right? And so wanted to share a little bit about Leni, and then we'll go ahead and, Leni, we're going to ask you some questions, and if you can share your expertise this morning, it would be great. So Leni has served as the Alderwoman of Chicago's 48th Ward since 2023. She is a lifelong Chicagoan, daughter of Filipino immigrants, and the first Filipina ever elected to the Chicago City Council. Yay. And she has built her leadership, and a lot of her initiatives are around housing and health and safety and human rights. And she feels they're all inseparable, as does everyone on this panel. So in City Hall, she's been a leading advocate for building more affordable housing, creating safer streets, and ensuring every community has a voice. She's the lead sponsor of the Chicago's landmark Green Social Housing Ordinance, which we'll get into. So with that, welcome, Leni.
Thank you. Thank you, Marie. Yes, green social housing. It was a landmark legislation that I was the chief sponsor of, and I passed it in City Council in 2025. It is the largest investment in affordable housing in Chicago's history. And what's important to know is that it keeps affordable housing permanently affordable by keeping them affordable over time rather than allowing these units to be converted to market rates after decades. And the other thing about green social housing is that it focuses on sustainability. So we want less carbon emissions. We want better resilient building design using more environmentally friendly materials. And we want that because it both decreases the environmental impact and also addresses the rising costs of utilities for our residents. And what I'm excited about is that we are looking to build one of the first social housing developments in Edgewater on Broadway.
Love it. So tell us, I noticed in the notes here that one of the initiatives relevant to that topic, one of the initiatives you have going is that you are upzoning areas in Edgewater and Uptown. And for those of us that don't understand upzoning, tell us why you're doing what it is and then why you're doing that.
Well, part of the affordability crisis is that we have to address both outdated zoning and building codes. So with the Broadway land use framework, it addresses Broadway from Montrose to Devon. Broadway is the spine that connects Edgewater and Uptown, and it's just steps away from our Red Line station. We invested $2.1 billion into CTA upgrades, and we have a once in a lifetime chance to bring more investments to this corridor, to bring more mixed use transit oriented development to the ward, something that the community has been asking for a very long time. This will bring more stability to long-time businesses so that they can expand if they want to. It brings down barriers for new businesses to come in. It will bring more residents to bring more people into those businesses. It will bring more residents to ride on our CTA, more students to our schools. And we have wanted this for a very long time. It'll help organize our streets to bring more pedestrian safety investments and bike infrastructure. And this is going to bring more vitality to the ward. But more importantly, the Broadway land use framework brings consistency and predictability and transparency to development in the ward. Now, zoning does not fix everything. The other thing that we need to fix is outdated building codes. So one of the other things that we need to address is, for instance, we have been going through City Council, and we have passed the third phase of our updated construction codes, but we also need to really seriously look at single stair reform, because this will also allow us to build bigger family friendly size units, 3-4 bedrooms, and not have to use all of that space for stairwells. And also, we have seen from data that this is something that other big cities have done, something that Canada has done in Honolulu, Seattle. We can do that here in Chicago.
Well, I love it. So let's pretend that I am a new family, two parents and a child and one on the way right now, as your ward exists right now. And I have a modest income. You know, we're both working. Dad works part-time, mom works full-time, and we're trying to find something that's affordable in your ward. Can you tell us a little bit about that journey and how hard it is, even though this is a great step forward, but let's be honest, it's still hard. So tell us a little bit about that journey for that family.
Well, firstly, Andersonville is part of the 48th Ward and is one of the coolest neighborhoods in the world. So it's a very desirable place. It's steps away from the lake and all public transit, great schools. So it's an incredible ward to live in. But what we're finding is that we have the lowest vacancies. We have the highest spikes in our rent, especially in the northeast side around this community. And also we've got a population decrease. When we have something that's open, we have bidding wars for rental units. And so we don't want that. We want there to be an abundance of places and options for families to live near school, near grocery stores, near religious institutions and
Yeah.
public transit. And we don't have that right now. Broadway was downzoned 20 years ago, wherein you could not build more residents on Broadway. So we have a once in a lifetime opportunity to do that now. And we're looking to enact this vision that the community has been asking for a very long time.
Well, that's great, but it's right now, right? And so excited about the future. But right now, it's a little bleak, right? I'm just being honest because I have friends in obviously in your ward, and it's real tough to find housing, particularly if you have a modest income. And that's true. It's not just your ward. All 50 wards are challenged with this. Let's be clear, folks. There are things that are getting better. Leni's initiative is amazing, and there are others that are helping neighborhoods have more housing. But like right now, as a public servant, Leni, what can you do or what advice can you provide to that little family that is struggling to find just a two-bedroom, whether it is for rent or to buy a condo?
Well, this is really it. You're pointing to the gap in our system right now. We don't have a rental registry. If they came to my office, I would not be able to help them. We don't have a bureau of housing
Yeah.
that we can point people to if they're suffering from a possible eviction because their landlord wants to vacate whole buildings to make them into condos or to convert multifamily units into a McMansion.
Yeah.
We need more tenant protections and we need more ways to keep people in the city of Chicago instead of relegating them to the suburbs where they think it's more affordable to live.
Okay. Well, good. Well, I'm glad that's being worked on. And so you're first Filipina, and I love a good first, right? An important first, and then you start the train, right? So I want to talk a little bit about the importance of your candidacy and you winning that seat, and then what's going on now to make our city, Chicago City Council, even more reflective and appropriate to the population. So tell us a little bit about some of the initiatives you're engaged in or you know of that are making the city council more reflective of its constituents.
Well, I am also a small business owner in Andersonville, and in our zip code 60640 and 60660, we have a very high concentration of LGBTQ plus folks and a large number of Asian folks because I represent Asia and Argyle. So all of my identities as the daughter of Filipino immigrants, as a business owner, as a mother of queer kids, and someone from the queer community, we have to work together to make things more inclusive. And that includes especially economic opportunities. So Chicago Therapy Collective is one organization that came to us years ago and said, what kind of hiring practices do you have that are more inclusive, especially for trans folks? And they gave us training for that. And they took that, and I helped encourage them to take that to city council and to city hall so that all of our departments are more inclusive. We also have, just blocks away from me where I live and where my shop is, a plaza that is coming in that is going to honor and celebrate Elise Mallory, who was an incredible beautiful Black trans activist, also from Chicago Therapy Collective, who tragically, we lost her in several years ago. And we want to remember the vision of the world that she wanted to live in.
Right.
And we need to do that every day by making sure that representation is in every institution that we have so that those voices are heard, and also making plazas beautiful, making it inclusive for young people, especially for trans folks who feel like they are marginalized right now because of this man who's in office who does not care about anybody, but is punching down on our very, very most vulnerable people, including our trans youth. And as we are still celebrating Pride Month, and we will continue to do so, we have to champion all of our rights, because when they come for us, when they come for one of us, they come for all of us. And that means elevating that housing is a human right for everybody.
It sure is. It sure is. And thank you for your good work there. Tell us a little bit. So municipal elections are coming, right? February of this next year. So a little better, 7 months away, right? In February of 2027, right?
Yes, absolutely. And it really does go to that. When people feel like they're not heard, they don't participate in
Yeah.
civic engagement. So young people need to know that government is working for them, that is fighting for them. And we need to get the word out that there is not only a municipal election in February, but there's an election before that in November. And school board races are so incredibly important. We have the very first fully elected school board race in November. It's incredible for Chicago that we're going to have that for the first time. And so get out the vote in November, get out the vote in February, come and volunteer for your favorite candidates, including myself. You can go to voteleni.com and let's get everybody engaged. I'm really proud to serve the 48th Ward as also the committee woman. And I know that voter turnout is tragically low in Chicago, usually in the 23% this last election.
Yeah.
But in the 48th Ward, we know that civic engagement is so important, and we are one of the most diverse wards in Chicago. We had almost 43% voter turnout.
Woohoo!
Yes.
Well, I'm going to challenge you to get it up to 48. How about that?
We wanted over 50.
And I'm going to check, Leni, I check on everybody's homework. So that's your homework, baby. So,
Thank you. Thank you, Marie, for having
God
me.
bless God bless for that. Well, Alderwoman, thank you so much for all that you're doing. And then I'm going to ask you a hard one. So the mayoral race is coming up as part of municipal elections. How are you feeling about that? Do you feel like our current mayor is in a good place moving forward? Like where are you landing at?
Well, I feel like the city of Chicago treats politics like a sport.
Yes, they do.
And my goal is to work with whoever is the mayor next year.
Got it. That's a good, safe answer, but bravo to you. And you have to. So it's a matter of pragmatics, right? So, well, great. Well, Alderwoman, thank you for coming in today. And we're wishing you great success with your housing initiative. And I hope you'll come back soon.
Thank you. Thank you, Marie. Thank you for having me, everyone.
Have a great day.
You too.
Leni, before you go, I wanted to chime in. My first job out of college was working as marketing manager for an American company in Saudi Arabia. And we were dealing in medical equipment and hospital equipment, lab equipment and supplies and all of that. My secretary was a Filipino called Tony. And I asked him to teach me some Tagalog.
What did you learn?
Okay. So he said, when you go to a hospital, you see some nurses, go up and tell them, ini ibig kata. And you want to translate that for our listeners, Leni?
I can't actually. I can't. No.
Okay. Ini ibig kita was that he said it's I love you.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mahal kita is another way. Right?
Okay. And imagine going up to a nurses group in Saudi Arabia and saying that, oh yeah, they will cut things off for you in a flash in that country. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Oh my, Filipino.
Well, there you go.
But
well, thank you, Leni.
Yep. I just wanted to finish off on that, Marie. Thank you for joining us. And we do have our first fundraiser coming up on Wednesday, July 29th in Bolingbrook. And if you want to meet the team, please, feel free to come. We'd love to have you as a guest also over there.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Mohammed.
Okay. And this entire conversation will be posted on our YouTube page, which is TLS Radio on YouTube, on our Facebook page, which is TLS Radio. And our website is tlsradio.com. We like to make it very easy for people to find out who we are and where we are from. And we will be starting our 4th year on WCPT in September.
Congratulations. Congratulations for reaching out to listeners that really hold our values dear. We need that right now. We need that kind of unity. So thank you for
Absolutely,
bringing it.
that's very important. I was expecting Maria to join us at 9:30 today. I heard she was back in town, but I think she's still recovering from her trip to England and Scotland and other places.
A little jet lag for sure.
Yep. So I don't see her over here at the moment. If you want to continue the conversation, Marie, feel free and let us
Sure.
discuss. My rant was on what are we really celebrating after 250 years.
Yeah.
The Constitution was not perfect. It was not written by perfect men, but it was written to where we could make it more that more people can join the conversation, not get away from. And today's government is basically trying to strip us of our voting rights. And let's bring Mike in. Mike has raised his hand. Is that from before, Mike, or did you just raise it?
Oh no, I actually took it down for a second, and then I put
Okay.
Well,
I just,
Mike,
I
go
just
ahead.
love Marie's guests. Her guests are so interesting, and I really appreciate all the work she's doing. Leni is remarkable, and I was just wondering, is she still here or is she
I think
leave?
she left.
Yeah, she's left, but she could be listening on the radio with us, Mike. So go ahead.
Well, maybe it's better that she left because I was wondering, what kind of assistance for all these great programs she's working on that our Mayor Brandon Johnson is doing. I mean, is the administration helping her?
Yeah.
Uh,
Well,
is the
it is part of the budget. So how that works, it's, this, it's at the same budgetary level as any governmental body, is that she has gotten the funds to pass and execute the program. But every time she adds a new initiative onto it, so this new one she's talking about will require money. She'll have to go back to the budgetary process again. So temporarily she has the funds that she, needs. I'm sure that she could use a lot more, but
right? Does she
yeah.
have a friend? And is the Mayor Johnson a friend of hers? I mean, is he
I think
behind this?
yeah, I
Seems like
don't
he
know
would
though.
be. I mean, he's a pretty
Yeah,
progressive guy.
I know he's a big fan of housing, creating more affordable housing. So one would presume that that he's a friend on this topic. I never like to presume anything in the city council, right? Like,
Right,
oh,
right.
good Lord, like I've watched some of those meetings. Wow, that there were some feisty conversations on the floor of Congress, but like I would tell you, the city council conversations, wow. Mm.
And they're pretty feisty. Yeah,
Yeah,
I like Mayor Johnson, and I helped get him elected. I worked with him. He seems very progressive, and he's trying to do a lot of things that are rubbing against the super wealthy interests in Chicago.
yeah,
And so, it would be nice to see if somebody would come on this program and actually say something good about him, that he's doing something
yeah.
for the people, because we're going to lose a progressive leader. We don't watch it.
Yeah,
And
it's really interesting because it's, as I always say about the mayor of Chicago, and I've known several of them now, is that we as Chicagoans, if we don't have immediate gratification, what it does is that everybody's hair is on fire then, and then nothing gets done because everybody's just running around like a lunatic. And it is real, the metaphor is apt, right? Because every foe and every pro person on any topic, they spend so much time fighting about it and so little time actually negotiating what the deal should be. It becomes really, really problematic. And I will say that we've had some great mayors in the city of Chicago that have done some great things, and we've had some very crooked mayors. But here's what I do know is that getting anything done in the city of Chicago against the powerful interests of the business elite is it's no small task. So if you're running for mayor, make sure you are ridiculously tough and make sure that
yeah,
you do not look back because it's just honestly, I think of all the mayors, it's possibly rougher than being a New York mayor. I really do. I think it's just because of all the factions. So good luck to whoever wins. And if Mayor Johnson is the one, I'm with you, Mike. I think that some of his things have been very overlooked. He's done some great things at the neighborhood level, so it's really unfortunate. And it's exactly how Chicago operates. So no matter who wins, we end up in the same place saying, oh, I wish people would pay attention to XYZ initiative.
Yep.
Right.
And Marie,
Right.
have you heard of anyone else wanting to throw their
Oh
hat
yeah,
in the
no,
ring?
they've all, but most of them have announced. It's interesting. So I just looked at a bunch of polling, and so Alexi Janulius apparently is getting in
Hmm.
right after Labor Day. Susie Mendoza has already announced. Mike Quigley has announced. A gentleman by the name of Matt Brewer, who's an interesting guy. He used to be the CHA housing CEO. I don't know much about him. And then Liam Stanton is this guy who's been hanging out there. He announced, oh gosh, more than 6 months ago, and has been just doing a lot of social media, and maybe more. I'm not tracking him. And then apparently there are three or four others that are interested in getting. Oh, and then George Cardenas, who used to be an alderperson in, I think,
Yeah, the
22nd,
name rings a
first
bell.
ward, somewhere,
Yeah.
23rd, something like that. Not 23rd, that's Marty Quinn. So he used to be, and now he's on the tax review board. George has an interesting background too. I know he's pretty conservative, but so all of these guys are coming at it from a different way. Unfortunately, there's only one woman running, which is problematic, but so there we are. That's the field right now, but I think it'll grow, and I
Let
think
me
it'll be
let me
one.
add one more to that, Marie.
Sure.
2 days back, Dr. Fez Sharif has
Okay.
filed for mayor.
Oh, interesting. Now, where does he live in the city of Chicago?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know, but I just saw that he has posted some pictures on WhatsApp groups,
Mm.
and he's got a what do you call it? A number plate for his car saying Doctor Mayor.
Oh, interesting. Oh, and he is a doctor.
He is a doctor.
Well,
He's a doctor
interesting.
who's recently got into the longevity business. So
We all
he's
could use a little
setting
of
up this,
that.
yeah, longevity clinics and all of that, promising to make me, 20 years younger. Okay.
Well, I'm in. How much is it?
I I don't know. I just saw something pop up on my socials, and I'm like, I'm going to talk to this guy. Sounds interesting. So
Yeah.
we may have him coming, and I was talking to the
Oh, and
group.
you know what? It's
Yeah,
excuse me. And then
go
of
ahead.
course the mayor is running for re-election. I didn't
Of
include
course,
him in
yeah.
the field. Yeah.
Okay. And I was talking to the group about a Republican that I ran into last
Oh,
week. And
okay.
he is going to be challenging Lauren Underwood in the 14th congressional district.
Hmm.
He challenged her last time, and he almost won. Lauren
I don't
barely
remember that
managed to
being close.
squeak
What were
through.
the numbers on that? I don't remember that being
I'll
close.
need to bring it out. I'll need to
Yeah.
dig into those numbers. Jim Martyr is his name, and Jim has agreed to come as a guest on our show.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. We like
So
to hear everybody's ideas.
yeah, I mean, I'm like Jim. There's no left or right, man. We are Americans first,
Yep.
and if you really want to get into a new audience, why don't you come on the show and just say, I would love to. And so we'll feature him somewhere in August or September around that time because we are really booked up with different guests till then.
Yep.
Our friend who's going to be coming in, who's our next guest on our District Watch, Chris? Chris.
Maybe we can convince him to support Medicare for all as a Republican.
Well, he like I was saying, Mike. I mean, he gave me his card with his campaign, highlights on it as to what he wants. Most of them
Yeah,
I agree with, honestly. Okay, most of them
yeah,
I agree with. Okay, so this is not. It's not like all Republicans are, are the spawn of the devil. There are some good ones, and then you got the MAGA crowd. And by the way, I do want to nominate President Donald J. Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize. You know, I mean, look at. I mean, I was looking at some notes over here, but he did manage. He did manage to end the Iran war 38 times, according to CNN. Come on, guys.
He's amazing.
He's amazing, okay? And he did say that he had a personal conversation with Franklin Roosevelt,
Oh my
okay?
God, that was so
Oh,
funny.
I saw that. That was like,
Alan.
I
It's
was
actually
really impressed with that.
Teddy Roosevelt.
Teddy Roosevelt. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I get my, because when I say Franklin, I'm thinking of dollar bills. That's what Trump is always thinking of.
Keep your Roosevelt straight.
It's
Okay.
So,
And we had the fireworks in the rain on July 3rd over here in my town,
yeah.
and I can guarantee you we had more people than Trump had at the National Mall.
Well, now he's quoting. This always cracks me up about his obsession with numbers and crowd
Yeah.
size, which is just a whole metaphor we won't get into in this early hour. But
Oh.
he's now saying there's been 370,000 people that have passed through the Great American Fair. So just so you know, police districts know how to measure crowd size, and they can, look at film and they can diagnose it, right? And so all of the various police jurisdictions around that area are saying that it's somewhere in the neighborhood of total of maybe 8,000 people, maybe. And that's being generous.
Wow.
And so
Big difference.
over, a 2-week period. And then when you see any of the videos, including the White House videos, it's like, now it is to be fair, that campus is a huge expanse of land.
Yeah.
It's many,
Right.
many acres. So, but even so, like, it is just dotted, like even within the camera's eye, you can only see 15, 20 people. And it's like, really?
And a lot
So
of them were
it's
falling down because of the heat, and they had to shut down some of the exhibits.
it's like if we've all read Devil in the White City, oh my God, it's the exact same thing, right? It's like it was meant to be temporary, and then a bad storm comes in. Oh golly, like there you go. And then I guess last night, so I watched clips of his speech last night. You probably went through this in your rant. But I was laughing so hard, like now. So he's because he's not subtle. The good news is he's not subtle. So it's clear how he's going to frame the November elections, that we're all communists, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I think we all
Commies.
need to ramp up
Tommy.
and make it clear what a communist is. But I wouldn't. I think it's funny, and I think we need to treat it as being funny and not as a realistic, like, that's all you got, dude, really? So folks, don't get overly defensive. Just say, okay, you are really insane, because that's all it is.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Hey,
In fact, I'm going to do a column
if
on this
he
on my
wins-
Substack. I'm
if
going
he
to
wins, then-
give folks an explainer on the Substack, and also just hey, this is how you respond to this, and it's with humor.
Yes.
So
ridicule.
oh, good, yeah.
Ridicule.
Ridicule.
Yeah.
Number
Oh, Chris,
three,
Chris, we didn't let you respond. Oh my goodness, who's our next district?
Oh, not a problem. The next district watch is July 19th, and we have Demi Palachek on.
Oh, very nice. That'll be
I
great.
love Demi.
Yeah, one of my favorite people. So, folks, if you want to join the conversation, of course, you can always text us after the show also, and the number is 312-857-8281 or 312-TLS-8281. Please remember that number. You can text us, leave voice messages, and can play your messages on the air. And don't forget that we have our first fundraiser dinner coming up July 29th at the Bolingbrook Community Center in Bolingbrook. Thank you, Mayor Mary Basta, for working with us to procure that space for us, and also for the American Arab Chamber of Commerce, who made it happen for us. Ray Hanania is going to be emceeing the event. We are going to be recognizing the contributions of Ken DeLuke to the show with a small token of appreciation. His life partner is going to be there to receive that. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. And Al Bawadi Grill is going to be catering the event for us.
Yum, yum, yum.
Delish.
Yeah, a lot of good people.
Crazy.
And also our good friend, Virginia, right, Sheila?
Yes, she's
From
going to be there.
Everything Delicious is going to be
Everything
bringing some of
Delicious.
her goodies to share with us. And Marie, I had announced some weeks back that we want to have in-person get-togethers once or twice a month in different areas of town.
Yep.
In the evening from, they say, couple hours, 6 to 8 after hours, and to talk about things, not really push any agenda or ask for any kind of money or funding, just neighbors getting together to talk about what is happening in their part of town. And Virginia has offered us her space as a first get together
Oh,
place
nice.
in Joliet.
Where's Virginia's
It's
organization?
in the
It's in
Ovation Center.
Romeoville. Yeah, Romeoville,
Yeah.
Illinois.
Oh,
Ovation
nice.
Center in Romeoville, right off of 55, so it's
Yeah.
pretty
Weber
easy
Road, right on
to get
Rebel
to. Yeah.
Road.
Yeah, yeah. You know, and let me just pitch the far southwest suburbs, almost getting into the exurbs like Romeoville and Joliet and the like, folks, because make your way out to Aurora. They're doing some great things out there. My husband
Yep.
and I have been out there for plays recently. The productions are equal to what we have season tickets to the Goodman. It's equal level production. Just don't sleep on the southwest suburbs, and I would say that of the northwest suburbs too, but I'm less familiar. So just get out there and support all these small businesses. I do want to circle back to the fundraiser, not in a promotional way, but I want to explain the mechanics behind that because doesn't that sound sexy? Like everybody wants to know the mechanics behind that. So the reality is that folks, the reason our fearless leader Mohammed is decided to do this fundraiser is that he actually funds our broadcast, and you would think WCPT does. And while they're an amazing partner, we love working with them. The reason that we fund our own broadcast via Mohammed is because we don't want to take on advertisers that we don't agree with. So there are plenty of big corporations. In keeping with the brand of this show, we wanted to remain fully independent and not colored by any one advertiser or corporate interest that may be involved. That's why we're fundraising, because I know I've gotten people look at me like I have 17 heads when I say, hey, we're doing a fundraiser. And they're like, radio show does not need a fundraiser, get some advertisers. And I said, yeah, we could do that.
Yep.
We would spend all of our time getting small business advertisers, which we're happy to do. But then because we're all donating our time, it's community radio, then we wouldn't have any time to develop the broadcast, right? So the reason that we're fundraising is so that we don't have to take on big corporate advertisers to support the show and then be dictated to. We are all very clear on why establishment media and legacy media is in the state that it is. Some of them, buck this trend, but a lot of them are going the way of, okay, whatever Amazon tells us or whatever big advertiser tells us to do, and trim this story and don't talk about this because it'll embarrass the current president. We're not in that business. So the good news is that we're fundraising in a grassroots kind of way. So that's why we're fundraising. So I just wanted to share that to remind everybody that we are not beholden to anyone. It's why we say the things we do, and you probably look at us like, oh my God, can't believe they said that. And it's because, sometimes the truth hurts, right? And so, but the truth has to be shared. So that's why we're fundraising, folks, and we hope you'll come out.
Thank you, Marie. And the tickets are available on our website now, tlsradio.com. And coming back to your point, Marie, a long time back, I was anchoring the International News Hour in Houston. Okay, Monday through Friday in the mornings. And believe it or not, our producer would come and sit down and tell us that, oh no, you can't carry this story. It is going to take off our so-and-so advertiser. Oh, you cannot say this. Literally, I had to redo things on the fly because the management would not approve of what the actual news was. I mean, it was not stories that we were making up. This was actually happening that we had to talk about that day. And corporate would come in and say, oh, no, you can't do that.
It is crazy. And that's commonplace in legacy news. Now, I think there are places where that doesn't happen. But it is not a coincidence in any way, shape, or form, like Don Lemon, Joy Reid, Jim Acosta, who have all gone out and done independent things on various platforms, including Substack, and they've been wildly successful. Lemon has millions and millions of followers. He does this man on the street stuff, and it really gets at it. And and he's very witty and all the things, and handsome and all the things. We love him, right? But he is, he's amazing at his job, and he's doing the work that many legacy reporters are not doing. Same with Joy Reid and Jim Acosta and many, many others. Whether it is, Lever News, David Sirota is doing a great job on busting some of the oligarchs in the financial industry, and on and on, and certainly Drop Site News really busting things open on the Middle East and all of that. So there's a lot of really great independent news out there. And we keep it, here on the Lightning Strike, we like to take what's going on federally and internationally and really drill down. So that's why we have both, Alderwoman Leni Hoppenworth but we also have Congressman Ro Khanna, who's likely going to run for president, because guess what, folks? Government does not stop at your doorstep or the edge of your town or the edge of your state. It is all one thing, and we all have to understand who's fighting for us and who's not. So our show is important that way, but
Yep.
so are many
Coming
other.
up 9:50 right on the dot over here. And also thank you to WCPT for allowing us the freedom to have this show the way that we do it. Okay. But we do have our person of the week coming in. Dr. White, would you like to please introduce them?
I just want to make a couple
have them
announcements.
unmute and come on camera so we can get to see their faces.
Yeah, I just want to make a couple announcements. The West Suburban Foundation for Disabled Vets is having on July 11th at Cantigny Park in Wheaton, Illinois. They're having their big event. And also, there's an annual fundraiser in Atlanta on July 11th at the Morrow Center at 7 p.m. The Bingo Experience, part sneaker ball, part homecoming, and part bingo night. And with that, I would like to bring on our special guest. Her name is TJ Mercer. She's affectionately called the walking explanation point, with a flair for the dramatic and a heart for the divine.
Yay.
And TJ made headlines when she gave away over $1 million in cash and in prizes in 4 weeks in the 2020 graduates at the HBCUs through a series of unforgettable virtual bingo games during the pandemic. She is a 25-year plus producer and editor in Hollywood, a keynote TEDx speaker. And TJ was once called by Samuel Jackson, the MFing cheerleader, okay? And today, she is the visionary behind Move In Day Mafia, which is a non-for-profit. And
Hey,
it provides...
Sheila, sorry to jump in, but when you say MFing, I'm looking, okay, is that my initials, Mohammed Faheem?
And so I just want you to know that she is doing something very powerful. She is actually SAP, which means somebody's answered prayer. And so I just want to welcome her to the Lightning Strike. I know we have just a couple of minutes here, but
no, we got 10 minutes, Sheila. We got 8 minutes.
Okay.
Go ahead. It's
Perfect.
all yours.
TJ, tell us a little bit about foster care and some of the percentages, because it's very difficult when you are graduating from high school, going into college, trying to maneuver all of that. But talk about a little bit about the foster care percentages when they age out specifically.
Well, first of all, good morning. Happy Sunday. Hi,
Morning.
Mohammed, Chris, Marie. Thank you for letting me come to play for a little bit on the Lightning Strike. Now, to your point, Dr. Sheila, 70% of kids in foster care dream of college, and yet only 3% go. And some statistics say only 1% of that 3% actually graduate. And so Move In Day Mafia was created to actually have those percentages disrupted, if you will. So what Move In Day Mafia is, we provide decked out dorm rooms and monthly care packages for students at HBCUs, historically Black colleges and universities, who have either aged out of foster care, they are unhoused, or they're just navigating college on their own. And since 2022, we have moved in 109 students at 28 HBCUs. And while I was listening, we were preparing for me to come on, I saw that your closest HBCU to Chicago is Central State. Yeah. Well, ironically enough, we are going to be moving 5 students in at Central State this year. So we need some volunteers and some donations coming out of Chicago, okay?
Yes. And talk a little bit about the monthly packages, because you guys don't just help them move in, you do decked out dorms. This is custom. This is something that's very unique to each of the colleges and the dorms. So talk a little bit about the care packages that you all provide with the dorms.
Yeah, so all the dorm rooms are customized by a professional interior designer, because it's important for me. So these students have been sharing, in most cases, they're sleeping in basements with boxes. And so they don't have their own space. So for us also with the care packages, I'm unapologetic when it comes to they have autonomy of choosing what they want, what kind of toothpaste they want, what kind of deodorant, because oftentimes for budget purposes, organizations hand them and say, hey, this is the best we got, take it or leave it. But that's not the mafia way. We actually let them fill out forms every month. You can ask for Colgate this month. You can ask for Crest next month. You can ask for Listerine. You can ask for Scope. Because for me, I need them to know that we see and hear them. And until you've witnessed a student fall in your arms of just joy and excitement because they saw you bought their favorite sanitary napkins, maxi pads. That's what happened at a Prairie View student that she saw. We paid attention to what she said she preferred. And so we don't negotiate when it comes to making sure these kids get because we only have them for 4 years. So for 4 years, I want them to feel like they belong as someone's kid.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, let's talk about the foster care pipeline to graduate. That's so important because there's so many kids out there that are just lost, they're unhoused. They don't feel like anyone cares. And here comes Moving Day Mafia with all of these care packages. So how do you take them from where they're at all the way to the graduate level? You only have them for 4 years. And there's a lot of work emotionally and mentally that has to be done in that time frame. So what are some of the goals that you have with that?
Oh, I love that question. We've evolved. You know, in your intro of me, you said that I spent 25 years in Hollywood as a creative. I have never worked in corporate America a day in my life. So this has been, what do you call it? A learning curve of me learning how to do this. And so I've had to like learn to get used to data and really pay attention to what the data is saying. And the data is saying for our kids that we have come along beside them and taken the stress off of them. So we are addressing the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And as a result, my babies, we had 7 graduates this year. My babies are down in Disney World interning. They're at Chase Bank interning. They're at Wells Fargo interning. They're actually becoming student government presidents because we're taking off of them stress so they can explore, they can create, they can decide what opportunities they want to go after. So this kind of support actually not only takes care of their basic needs, but it frees them up in the mental space.
Yeah. You know, it's important too, because you're not only providing the physical, you're also the world's greatest hugger. And everybody needs a loving touch. And so you kind of go in there and you're giving them something that maybe they have not had from a parent or from a caregiver that they're living with. You're providing emotional stability. So let's talk a little bit about the world's greatest hugger. Why do you feel that's so important?
Because of the reason you just said. A lot of these kids have bounced from home to home and they have not received love. They have not received joy in their lives on a consistent basis that they can trust. And like we are interviewing our kids for the next round, and one student, it was a tough interview. It was like pull teeth out of this kid, but she threw me when she at the end when I asked him like, well, do you have any questions for us? And she goes, yeah, I do. Does it really warm your heart to do this work?
Wow.
Man, I had to toss it to my assistant because I was so like, baby, if you only knew. I love hugging. I remember when my dream, I prayed for this. God, I want to travel around. I want to hug a bunch of people and surprise them. That's my job now. I get to travel to HBCUs. I get to hug a bunch of HBCU students who need us. And I get to surprise them. And then you mentioned what's coming up in Atlanta. I'm going to be hugging people on July 11th, next Saturday.
Yes.
At HBCU Bingo Experience, our fundraiser. And because of events behind the scenes that I won't bore you with, the venue gave us a bigger space. So as a result, if your listeners use the code LIGHTNING and they can get to Atlanta, I've got a buy one, get one free BOGO for them. So if you just go to moveindayMafia.org, use code LIGHTNING, you get buy one, get one free. And a hug.
Okay, it's 10 o'clock, and we need to finish off the show on that great thing and a great plug for the lightning strike. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us, folks. It is 10 o'clock. We will be signing off on WCPT in about 15 seconds. Feel free to go to our website, tlsradio.com, to find out where we are and who we are and what we do. And do come for our fundraiser on July 29th at the Bolingbrook Community Center in Bolingbrook on Canterbury Drive. Thank you, Dr. White, Mike Patino, Chris Elbert, and of course, Marie Newman for joining us this morning. And our guest was Mahnoor Ahmad on the District Watch segment. Over and out. We'll see you all next Sunday, bright and early, 8 to 10 on WCPT, 8:20 a.m.